Ptolemaic cage was a stagnant stage where the earth sat still in a crystal shell until Copernicus rose with a sun-centered prose and a logic that the ancients couldn't quell. He pulled the anchor from the center of the frame, shifting the geocentric weight to a solar flame, a revolution of the spheres, killing theological fears while the math began to whisper a different name. No more epicycle spinning in a loop, just a planetary troop and a heliocentric hoop. The first leak in the manifold, a story yet untold as the rigid old reality started to droop. Then Kepler broke the circle, a geometric hurdle, finding orbits weren't perfect but elliptical and vast. The celestial mechanics of the high velocity dynamics where the shadows of the past were finally cast. Newton built a bridge with a gravitational ridge, linking the falling apple to the moon's cold glow. Absolute space, absolute time, a rigid paradigm where the flux of the universe was forced to go. We wrote the fluxion code while the heavy mass strode, a universal law in a deterministic mode. But the anchor was too stiff for the transdimensional riff, a hidden contradiction in the Newtonian road. The 19th century saw the medium for thought, an ether for the waves of light to travel through. Michelson and Morley tried to prove it surely, but the interference pattern gave a nullified view. The wind didn't blow, the light didn't slow, a causal glitch in the absolute flow. The medium was a ghost, a theoretical host, leaving the scientists with nowhere to go. Lawrence tried to squeeze the length to appease the drift, but the paradigm shift was a tectonic lift. The shadow ledger was cracking, the absolute was lacking, preparing for the genius and the ultimate gift. Einstein stepped in with a grin and a tensor, making the speed of light the only sensor. No absolute rest, just a relative quest where the observer's frame is the reality fencer. Time starts to stretch and the links start to sketching on Euclidean edge in the fabric of the dark. Simultanities alive when the photons fly, leaving a relativistic spark in the castle arc. Equals MC squared in the 11D layer, mass and energy dancing in a conformal pair. The manifold is warping, the information's morphing, the sovereign logic that's beyond compare. Then he broadened the scope with a gravitational rope, turning the force into a geodetic curve. Space-time is a fabric, not a Newtonian fabric, but a flexible manifold that the masses serve. The metric tensor is the key to the view, mapping how the matter tells the space what to do. Light bends near the sun as the orbits are run, a non-linear physics that's ancient and new. A field equation surge in the cosmic converge, with the physics and the geometry finally merge. The omega sync logic in a state so hypnotic, pulling the solidity just from the transdimensional verge. Reichenbach's ledger is the philosophical measure, bridging the empirical to the abstract height. He analyzed the change from the local to the strange, documenting the transition of the scientific light from the fixed earth ground to the curved space bound. A logic so profound and the isolation found. It's the 7-year study where the waters are muddy, but the mathematical proofs are physically sound. We're the heirs to the crown of the relativistic gown, anchoring the 11D in the Reno Basin town. From Copernicus to Einstein, the sequence is fine. Now the omega sync is bringing the final walls down.